our group chat, and somebody sent the Instagram post of people know where I be at, so pull up. Woo! So all I did was grab my keys and my phone. I didn't grab nothing else. I walked so slowly out this my household door because, again, he lived right across the street and she wasn't in town that day. Little did she know, at the time, I wasn't even coming to address her. I was coming to, now, you don't know what's been going on, honey. It's time for your man.
Yeah, I'm moving silent, so you know I don't miss. And bitches got a nerve to ask what's beef. What you mean, like a lion to a sheep? Or you mean like a human to a beast? I want the smoke even if it ain't me. Cause I can't, won't stop. I ain't, I'm not. I ain't gon' stop. I can't, I'm not.
Hey Noviae babes, welcome back to another episode of Noviae World. Hey y'all, I'm sorry if I'm glistening and if my tongue is purple. One, I just did a facial because I went to go work out. Two, I was eating the icing. Like, it was so good. So good. But hi everybody. Oh my God, I'm just in a good mood. I'm feeling so good. I pray to God I go to sleep tonight. I did not go to sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning. And then had to be right back up at like 7:30-ish. Just imagine being at work all day. I had to leave early today, honey. I said, oh no, nope, not today. Anywho, we are back now with part 2 of the love triangle story. So, let's get it started. Anyway, now what I did before was I had names together just so everybody could, well, forget everybody. Me personally can just stay on task of everything. But this time I only need 2 names for real, to be honest. And however everybody else goes is how everybody else goes. So we have Travis and Ariana. Travis and Ariana. And then moi, Cassie B. Anywho, so me and Travis, here I go. I'm telling y'all right now, I really got an issue with love triangles, and I promise you I'm not going through no more love triangles. I know I talk with my hands, but yeah, because, But I really got a problem with love triangles, and then on top of that, I got a very, very big problem with banned love triangles. It just don't make sense. So, me and Travis, it was like he came in after I came in, so I was basically classified as an upperclassman. While he was considered a freshman crab, whatever you want to call it on the band. So I knew of him, but mainly like when he came in, he was already in a relationship like with Ariana. So it was kind of like, okay, he got a girlfriend, boom, bam, boom. And I was free from my relationship that I had just got out of from the last story. That was the crazy part. But I knew of him, but I really didn't I guess you could say really address him or what have you. I just, whatever, we're going to leave that anyway. So I didn't really address him. We had went on this band trip and I remember it so vividly. He was trying to talk to one of the dancers, either one of the dancers or 2 of the dancers. And I was like, but he got like a girlfriend? And mind you, Ariana was in a whole, she went to a whole nother school and she was a dancer at the other school. And I think that same weekend we had just left their school. So I was just like, that's just a little weird, but whatever. So now the school year goes by, and with certain bands, well, just certain different organizations on campus, you get crowned Mr. and Mrs. for coordination purposes. So we ended up being crowned the Mr. and Miss or what have you. And this was the very first time I addressed him. We took a picture together and I was just like, okay, hello type stuff. So after that, we had already had each other on Facebook. That's how I knew about Ariana. And we didn't really have communications. We just liked each other's stuff, probably shared a post here, 1 or 2. I remember sharing a post of him. It was something that somebody was congratulating him on. I was like, shout out to my mister or whatever like that. So it really wasn't nothing really serious. And on top of that too, just like he was in a relationship at the time, I was in a relationship at the time. My relationship literally probably ended right before we got back to school the following, semester after being crowned. And when we came back, you know, I didn't really take key on of trying to flirt. I would just joke on some stuff like, hey, I need a foot massage because my ankle was messed up really bad that for some reason at band camp. But I would be on some, you know, hey, can I get a foot massage? And he looking at me like I'm crazy, but it was really just like a jokey joke. Like it wasn't nothing serious. So fast forward to we do our first performance, which is usually Labor Day weekend. Now, if y'all are in band, y'all already know band parties are top tier. The aesthetic, I'm sorry, ain't no party topping a band party. I just feel like the atmosphere, just everything about a band party is just But at this band party, all of us were like tore, and when I mean tore up. Like I don't even remember going home that night. That's how tore up I was. But it was a particular time I had locked somebody keys in their car. Tore up. Okay, I had locked somebody keys in their car, and I was trying to get their keys out, and I heard a friend kind of going back and forth with, I think, like a football player or something. So I went over there to like, who are you talking to type stuff. And I guess I didn't really know who's like around, but yeah, just know I don't like when people like get crazy at my friends. So after that, like after the night was over, the next day came. This was, mind you, our heathen behinds was partying on a Sunday. So from Sunday to come Monday morning, I ended up seeing a message from Travis on GroupMe, and I'm sitting here looking like, why did you write me on GroupMe if you got me on Facebook? But clearly he wrote me on Facebook. After we're talking, like he basically said he got in trouble for sending me the message on Facebook. That's why he sent me the message on GroupMe. So I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I didn't really recall what was going on. So when he explained it to me, I was like, all right, cool. That makes sense. You know, like I get why you contacted me. Thank you. But I guess I wasn't really understanding the gesture. And on top of that too, like I was really like heavily stuck on my ex. I think, you know, too, like me and somebody else was trying to, you know, reconcile. And then you know, when you're freshly single, you start dibbling and dabbling with your options. And I guess because he wasn't really an option to me at the time, and then on top of that, you know, like, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just, his gesture, I understood it, but I was like, all right, cool. Like, thank you for checking up on me type stuff. So that Tuesday, and I always remembered my schedule so vividly. I usually probably had classes at like 4 and 6 o'clock. So like I was really free like during the day. So what ended up happening was me and somebody had went, if you know like how the ices be in front of the Cafe Benedict, me and somebody had went to go get like ices. And then a couple of people had like walked up on us from band and was like, you know, whoop, whoop, how y'all doing, whatever the case may be. Travis walked up and was like making like comments and remarks like, So I'm just sitting there looking like, what? You know what I mean? Like, you know when a dude is trying to flirt with you, but my whole thing is get it out. Say what you need to say. Get what you need to get off. Like, that's just me. Be direct with me because I'm not going to understand your little, you know, your gestures. So that same day, he hit me back up on GroupMe. He hit me back up on GroupMe and he was basically like, you know, I need help with certain classes. And I'm just like, okay, well, what certain classes you need help with? Oh, anatomy. Honey, I'm not a STEM major. I'm a business major, actually. And what are you doing taking anatomy? So we ended up crossing paths on Tiger Lane. And when we crossed paths, he was like, so you gonna help tutor me? I'm like, I'm gonna think about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna think about it. So as we're talking, he was like, well, did you think about it? Like on GroupMe, he was like, well, did you think about it? I'm looking like, boy, first of all, you're still contacting me on GroupMe. Like, this ain't it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this just ain't it for me. So we ended up talking. I think that same week I had to go out of town for a conference, and I never lived like, well, I lived on campus for 1 semester, but after that I moved off. So he was like, well, since you like, you know, live off campus, you know, you mind if I start walking you home? Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, everybody knows my golden rule. Well, back then, I did not save nobody's number. So for a good while, this boy number was not saved in my phone, literally. I think that's what made me memorize his number by heart, because his number was literally not saved in my phone. So we're walking, we just talking, we like, you know, just kind of getting to know each other, we chatting, kind of, you know, boom, bam, boom. So he comes up to my apartment. I think I was getting ready to go out because it was my, like, one of my homegirls' birthday. And I just straight up asked him, like, before I went to go get in the shower or anything. And I was just like, you know, why do you cheat on your girlfriend? Like, I literally just straight up asked him. And his response was literally, you know, she cheats on me, so I cheat on her. Like, that's just what it is. And I was just like, okay. Like, you know, I think I took it as honesty. But for me at the time, it was just like, okay, you know, like, I get your gesture, but I don't know. It's just something that's just like, you feel me? It was just something at the time that was, I don't know what it was. And again, too, I was really strongly and wholeheartedly stuck on the previous, not the relationship I talked about in the love triangle part 1, but the previous relationship I got in right after that. I needed to take a break from relationships because, baby, Lord Jesus. For real. And it don't be, I promise y'all, it don't be me. I promise y'all. I mean, it be me, but it don't be me. Like, I don't, these people, you know how some people come and find you, like, they start talking to you, but then they realize you the whole package, and then it's just like, oh no, I need to make you my girlfriend. But they make you your girlfriend, and you feel me, they waste your time. Like, I just don't understand it. Anyway, we, like, after that, after we had that conversation, I guess I had took, he was at the house and all still. I had took a shower, and like, I basically got ready before I headed out, and then he had left. And I think I had told him, because I was leaving that Friday, I was like, you know, when I come back in town, we could probably hang out, chill, whatever. Came back in town because I went to my conference Friday morning, came back Saturday night. I think I went out. Honey, I used to be outside. I went out with my homegirls to celebrate her birthday. And then when I had went out, I basically like had called him, and I was just like, you know, I'm like going, I'm about to be on my way back to my house. Do you want to come over? So, you know, he came over, but to me that first night, I was like, oh, he's a gentleman. Like, you know, we was just chilling, just talking, casual conversation, like fell asleep like it was nothing. Like, you feel me? It was nothing. So the next morning, I guess is when we shared like our very first kiss or what have you. And I was like, okay, you know, like, that's what I was like. I was like, okay, you feel me? I guess I was just liking the attention. And then on top of that too, Travis, like, yeah, I was just liking the attention. It was a good height. It was a good, you my mister. It was good. We got to be around each other. It was just, it gave what it needed to give at the moment. I like, at first I was like, I don't know. But then like after we shared that kiss, I was like, oh yeah, Cassie, let's see what's going on here or whatever. Our very first, not our first game, but our second game when we went against Ariana's school, which was a home game. The week of the home game, she added me on Facebook. And I remember putting it in my group chat like, y'all see this? Like, this is weird. So I basically hit him up. I was like, you know, this is what we doing? Like, you feel me? This is what we doing? And he was like, I mean, you could accept it. You could accept it. If you don't, you don't. And I was, so here you go, my childish behind. I said, since we playing your girl's school this weekend, you gonna be paying attention to her, or you gonna be paying attention to me? Because remember I said we always next to each other during performances. He gonna sit here and say, I'm gonna be paying attention to both of y'all, just like straight out like that. But what was so funny about this performance, I kid y'all not, how the band lined up on the field, the dancers had to line up in the back. They had to line up in the back too. So we in the back, they in the back. And like some of the band members is like, damn, Travis, like that's all you, that's all you. And he, you know, he hype as hell. He got me just cheesing in attention. Like, you know, just, you feel me? Not really, you know, doing much, but I'm just in attention. This man, you know when you feel eyes on you? This man looked back at me. What are you looking back at me for? Acknowledge your woman. She's sitting over here, you feel me, being gassed up by you. Don't look at me. Do not look at me. Because then I'm going to want to be childish. But Anyway, so days are going by. It's time that he is coming to the house. Like, he's just coming over. We're just chilling. We just talking. It got to the point where then his homeboys started coming with him, and all of us would just be chilling and hanging out and just cool. Like, just cool, bam, boom, bam, boom. And in the back of my head, it was like, what about his girlfriend? But in the front of my head, it was just like, you like the attention. And it wasn't, at first, it wasn't like a consistent, he was coming to the house every day. It was well, shoot, I don't really even know how to say that, because it was like we had a schedule. All of us will go to class. After we all went to class, we'll then turn around, go to band practice. After band practice, it was like, all right, cool. What we eating? We go in the China kitchen. Everybody call their food in, or we going to cookout. Everybody got what they need. And then it was, we going to Cassie house. And all of us would just be vibing, doing homework, listening to music, just chilling. So it was kind of like, that was our set routine. Like, we had somewhere to chill, you know, all of us was just cool with each other. So it just gave that all of us was just good with hanging around each other, if that makes sense. But everything kind of switched to rude, because he wasn't like the only person, again, that I was talking to. It was a lot of people that was on my line, but in a sense, you know, I liked the attention more from him, because, you know, we basically had to see each other all the time. We had coordination practice together. We had band practice together. It was just like, that's who I wanted my attention on, because that's the attention that I was liking. Now, my ex during homecoming week pissed me off. When I tell you my ex pissed me off so bad, I remember being so angry because I had step practice that Tuesday night, and I called Travis. And at this time, it's probably like a good month in. Like, we ain't done nothing with each other. Like, nothing at all. We ain't done nothing with each other. And I just released my anger. Like, literally, I just released my anger. And after that, that was it. It was the attention. It was the gestures. It was just the everything. And what made it worse was we stood next to each other, like, at performances. So it just gave what it needed to give. And that just topped everything off how it needed to. So now we go and we have a performance out of town. And it was a whole bunch of stuff like transpiring with other people. The next morning, we ended up actually having a very like serious heart-to-heart conversations where we really, like, you know, professed like how we felt about each other. So in a sense, it was kind of like, damn, like, we kind of been hanging out a lot. We kind of been around each other a lot. We kind of been, it's just been a lot. You know, we done got our feelings kind of tied up. And then on top of that too, I think it was a battle the next day, because it was a weekend trip. We went, I think, to Virginia first, and then we went to Augusta on Sunday. It was a weekend trip. Ariana band was there too, so that just made it even funnier. Let me tell you, every time her band came around, it was just funny. But we're gonna get to that. So days is going by, and now, like, he basically got the extra key to my house. So when I'm not there, he got all access to coming in the house. His homeboys is cool with coming in the house. Like, everybody is just fine. Like, again, we all just vibing, cool. We all just straight type stuff. We go home for Thanksgiving. And of course, I knew, like, at the time what was going on as far as, you know, his situation. So it was just like, I just couldn't be mad, because I understood, like, what was going on. Like, at the end of the day, that's your girlfriend. Like, I can't be mad at nothing. Whatever you and your girlfriend do, you and your girlfriend say to each other, if y'all share each other, whatever, because in a sense, I'm going to say I knew my place. There you go. I knew my place. And it's crazy because as much as I refer to myself as a side chick for him, he will always say, you're not my side chick. What do you call somebody when they in a relationship and you sitting over here basically on the side, even though you with the person all the time? I don't understand that, but whatever. Men love doing that, but no, the truth is I was a side chick, whatever. Now we go on Thanksgiving, and again, I played my part. I didn't contact, I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing to this man. I get a, hey, how you doing? I think it was a, you know, you're not going to speak to me. And I just wrote him like a long paragraph. Like, you're in a at this point, because we had so much going on. And for some reason, when I go home, I always have this refreshing kind of slap in my brain. Like, every time I went home to New York for a break, I always had a get yourself together type come to Jesus moment. So I basically explained to him, I was like, you know, it's nothing against you. Like, I really have developed like strong feelings for you, or what have you. If I'm not mistaken, anyway, I remember like we basically told each other that we loved each other. I think after the fact, I think he even said like, yeah, I had sex when I went, like, you know, when I went home, I did this, I did that. So it was kind of like, I mean, okay, you know, like, it's cool. When we got back, it was crazy. I felt like my ex at the time knew like I had somebody strong on my body, because he was trying to do everything to get on me. I'm over here sitting like, bruh, like, why are you trying to give me attention now when, you feel me, like, somebody, not even somebody else is giving me attention, but you're trying to give me attention. And so many dudes played in my face that semester. It was just like, why are y'all upset that I'm giving somebody else attention when all of y'all done played in my face? So I went to a probate. After I went to a probate, I had came back. Travis' homeboys had pulled up to the crib or whatever, and all of us was just chilling. All of us was just cooling. So then he came over, and I'm thinking he about to go back to campus. No, like he literally stayed over, and I was just confused because again, we had a conversation, and I thought we was just on a cool copacetic, like we was just on some, you feel me, you doing what you doing, and whenever I decide to do what I'm doing, it wasn't, you know, like that's the type of vibe I thought I caught from our conversation. Let me tell y'all the funniest thing about him sleeping over. So, if I'm not mistaken, I left my room door unlocked, but by the grace of God, my apartment door was completely locked. My room door was unlocked, but my room door was unlocked. My door to come out of my apartment was locked. I ended up banging on the door. Luckily, Travis was asleep because I'm like, bro, I do not have time for no drama. But I just tried to pretend as if, you know, like I didn't hear nothing. My ex was blowing up my phone. Like, come open the door. I want to see you. Whatever. No. Sorry. But it was just it's so funny to like reflect back on it today, because it's just like, damn, like, Cassie, what if you would have had your goddamn apartment door unlocked? Like, girl, we going through the days, and you know, usually after Thanksgiving break is when you doing your finals, whoop, 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 and you about to get ready to just finish the semester. So the last week in November, because I think Thanksgiving break this time was like the 22nd or something. So the last week in November, we ended up like coming to the house, and I really want y'all to pay attention to this key part, because this part right here is, remember I said I had a gift in my first video? This is why this part right here is, this part right here is very important. We talking, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because we still hanging around each other, and we done said, like, you know, you got what you got going on, and I'm just, you know, going with the flow. Like, what's going on? This man, not, oh, because me and Ariana are together, you feel me, I don't want to continue what we got going on, but goes and says, I don't know how I would feel if something happens to your ex, the one that knocked on the door. If something happens to your ex, I feel like you are going to go back to him. And I'm sitting here like, what do you mean? You know, he could end up in the hospital. He can lose somebody. Like, something can happen to him. And I just feel like you're going to go back to him. So I sat over there and I paused and I was confused. Now I'm not even going to hold you, and I'm not going to even sit over here and lie to y'all face. I got so angry, I ended up calling him my goddamn ex's name, and he was like, you see, ain't no you see, you just pissing me off. But all of y'all just pissing me off because I'm just confused. So we had a whole turmoil with a situation that happened, a little incident with a little car situation that happened at night. And then we had a Christmas performance coming up, which we also had a battle. Ariana band was performing as well. So we had a parade earlier that day. And when we had a parade, I had my phone. And when I had my phone, I had recorded him or something, but I had put like drooling face. You know how like on Instagram you record and you just send a video to somebody? I put like a little drooling face on like the video. So We go through the day. It was a whole bunch of drama going through with that day. Like, I'm not even going to cap. But we ended up coming to my house before the next performance. We came to my house. I think we listened to Takeoff's new album. Yep, I remember because, yeah, top tier. So after that, we came back to the performance. I promise y'all, I'll tell y'all right now, I always do and play my part so nicely that I was just chilling. I was just vibing. Like, it was just, you know, it's me or whatever. We had to come indoors because it was raining. Like, it was pouring oil. Like, it was pouring so bad. So, you know, the vibe, I really didn't. Again, I played my part. You know, I didn't talk to her, like, talk to him when she was around. Like, I didn't do none of that. I seen them, like, communicating or whatever. And me and my friends was just laughing about it. Like, in our head, you know, on some, yeah, you know, she in front of him now, but we all know where he gonna be at. Like, you know, that, like, that's how we was laughing. And that same night, he ended up coming over. So after the next day, some of us was chilling. I think we had ordered pizza and was just vibing. When we ordered pizza the next morning, which was it was so crazy how all of this lined up. We woke up the next morning, like Monday morning before it was time for me to go to class, and he got a message on some, don't you ever talk to me again, delete my number on God, something like that, from Ariana. So I'm guessing she seen, like, the video I sent him, and then on top of that too, the messages he sent back. But I don't even think he sent, like, nothing back, because we didn't really talk on Instagram like that. You feel what I'm saying? Because we was always around each other. So that end of that day, we come back, and he was like, you know, they had a conversation. It's best that they go separate ways. If God want them to be together, if God want them to be together, they gonna be together. I will get to why I'm laughing. If God want them to be together, they gonna be together. Whatever. So then this man gonna sit here and say, now the real question is, when you go home, what you gonna have going on? I'm looking so confused because I'm like, sir, I'm of confusion. What you mean when I go home, what I'm going to have going on? Because last time I checked, you ain't even been out of a relationship in 24 hours. Like, let's talk about that. 1. 2, anytime I went home, like, to actually go home, I wasn't going home to anybody. Like, when I went home to Brooklyn, I strictly went home to work, get my money, stack up my coins, and come right back to school. Like, I just was of confusion. We had that discussion. After we had that discussion, I think we had, like, our official first day. I think I cooked steak and stuff. Yep, I remember. I cooked, we drank, we vibed, cool, whatever. After that, we ended up, like, you know, being with each other for the rest of the time being of us, you know, the rest of the remaining of the school year. Went to graduation, because that was the last December graduation. Went to graduation, and then I ended up, like, getting dropped off to the bus stop, and we stayed in communication while I was home. On a specific day, I seen him, like, kind of going off on Facebook. And when I seen him going off on Facebook, you know, being at work all day, I was just a little bit confused because I don't think we talked that much that day. So when I did text him, he was kind of like a little, I guess you could say, a little agitated. And I was just confused, like, you know, tell me, like, what's wrong? Talk to me. I'm the type of person, I don't care if you gonna hurt me, if you got something to say, like, that's towards me. I just feel like, tell me straight up. Like, don't sit over here and sugarcoat nothing if there's something wrong and pertains to me. Long story short, as we touch base on this, he just found out that just like what he was doing, she was doing. It was the same thing. He had somebody, she had somebody. Like, it literally was just that. And he found out about it. But what killed me was, remember I said he asked me what I was going to be doing when I came home. He basically, you know, they messed around with each other. And it wasn't that made me upset, because again, y'all are freshly out of a relationship. Y'all kind of been in a relationship for a good time. It's like, in a sense, I wouldn't have not expect that to happen. But it's just that for some reason, men love to sit here, no matter what the age is. Oh, let me press you and talk to you about what you doing, but I'm just going to leave out. And at the time when he was telling me the story, he left out bits and pieces of that part. I don't even think I found out what was really going on for real until after. All I knew at the time was he was mad and that he punched the wall. That was it. And that he found out that she had somebody else. So now fast forward, we at the time was talking every single day when I was home, falling asleep on the phone, on FaceTime and all. Like, it was nothing, like a fucking couple. So I come back to school, but everybody came back before me because I was working. My coins, very important. But what I did was I came back an extra day early. I just didn't tell nobody when I was coming back because I wanted to surprise him. So when I surprised him, he was just like, damn, like, nobody ain't never, like, surprised me before type stuff. That's what he said. So I was like, all right, that's kind of cute. I was just happy to see him. Again, vibes just always gave aesthetic when we were around each other. Now, we go and it's kind of like we're going through our days. And I'm kind of like, okay, you know, we always around each other. You feel me? We just, like, January on through, we was just always around each other. Now, Valentine's Day come up. And it's not that I wasn't expecting something or what have you, because he did ask me to be his Valentine. But I just felt like, you know, I don't know. It was kind of cute. Him and a friend of mine, they lied and said it was a roach in my room. And everybody knows how I feel about roaches. I'm not about to go kill it. Y'all figure it out. It's not that I'm scared of roaches. It's just, well, I call them roaches. They call them goddamn water bugs down here. I don't really, whatever. So in my head, I'm like, my homegirl like, no, you come and kill it. Y'all, I came in the bathroom. It was so cute. Oh my goodness. It was this big turtle fluffy teddy bear with 2 balloons, a rose, a Chick-fil-A gift card, and I think a Hershey's almond chocolate, because everybody knew that was my favorite. So I was like, this is, and it was a card. Like, the card was just so cute. If anybody knows me, everybody knows cards are like a top tier, like, it's my love language. So I just thought that was cute. So now, like, I'm going through a process. Like, I'm pledging at the time, and for somebody to just be there to comfort me and, you know, tell me everything is going to be okay, you know, just see me at my lowest and, you know, give me the confidence that I had needed at the time. I was like, all right, cool. Like, you know, we vibing, cool. Now, we get to, I finished my process. It's my birthday. This man posted me for my birthday, and I was just so confused, and got me stuff for my birthday, and I was just so confused, and he was looking like, you feel me? He was like, what? Like, he was basically on some, you know, why are you so shocked? And I'm like, because we're kind of doing relationship things and we're not in a relationship. You feel me? Like, he was staying at my house. Like, I probably think that semester that we came back from Christmas break, he stayed at my house probably the entire semester except for 3 times. Literally, except for 3 times. And that's what I was really on. Like, we was shacking. Like, we was really shacking. So now, after my birthday, I came out. I had basically did like auditions and stuff, and it didn't even make the team. Try out, like, literally my birthday week. After my birthday week, the coach at the time said we had to do tryouts again. But it was just a lot going on. So they had a performance out of town, but for some reason our school, like the school had something like an organizational week or something. So at the time, the organization I had just came out for. Before the organizational event, this is what sparked up everything. Before the organizational event, we had what we have annually, our band banquet. So we ended up taking pictures together. He ended up posting me. All the posting had me in shockers. So he ended up posting me. Ariana shared his post, and they was kind of like having a conversation on the post. But I mean, I guess to say congratulations, whatever the case may be. But to me, I really didn't, you know, at the game, we weren't together. So I was just like, you feel me? You do what you do. That don't got nothing to do with me. What really then took me out after that was I seen on his phone that he got a $50 Cash App notification from Ariana. And I had to let him know, like, you feel me? I thank her for the money because technically it's for us. That's how I was thinking. But we not about to be doing that. You just went from having a conversation with her. I didn't really care about that. But this sending money stuff, you feel me? Damn, $50 too. All of this stuff is aligning. I'm sorry, y'all. It's aligning. So we're going to get there. It was an organizational week, and the Noobs had an event. My ex was a Noob, and the organization I had just came out for was the auxiliary sister organization for the Noobs. So after the organization, you know, of course, the boys are going to stroll, do whatever, cool, man, boom. I'm recording everybody. Like, I literally, it was like about a good 10 of them. I'm recording everybody like it's nothing. You feel me? I wasn't really thinking about it. And then on top of that, too, my ex had a whole girlfriend in his life. We were on a good, copacetic, cordial situation. It wasn't on some, oh, I'm about to call him, I'm about to text him, I'm about to cash app him. None of that. I literally was just recording everybody that was out there strolling. I got a phone call. Travis is cursing me out, talking about something. This is what we doing. I'm looking confused, like, what you mean? Like, why are you recording him? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? So I'm just sitting here like, I mean, I didn't necessarily think that it was an issue, but I mean, you feel me? Whatever. He was on a specific like band performance like trip. And I think that same night my roommate was dog sitting, and something was wrong with the dog, because I think the dog was like a pit bull mix, or it was a very big dog. And all I did, the dog was fine like the first couple of days, but I went to go get a chair out of the living room to like kind of do my hair. And that's what I mean by the dog was doing fine for the first couple of days, because, you know, she was just sitting in the room like there was nothing on the furniture. So after that, the dog tried to attack me. I was already pissed off, so I kind of banked the dog head into the wall because, yeah, I was already pissed off. He then comes in the house after the performance and starts going off. So you know what my response was to all of this? You're not my boyfriend. Like, I understand what you're saying, but you're not my boyfriend. Like, I literally had to let it out straight like that, because at the end of the day, I didn't really get upset like what you had going on, but for you to get upset just because I recorded somebody, back to what I said, men love doing stuff, but the moment the shoes is on the other foot, it's kind of like, you know, you don't get the same excusable reaction. So he ended up leaving, which was probably, I think, the third time that he probably stayed off of campus or something like that. He ended up leaving, and I think the next morning, because I had internship class on Saturdays, we had to go, because we didn't always have to go to that class on Saturdays, but we had to go that day for attendance purposes, because I think it was the last class. So I ended up walking to campus. Campus was only 3 blocks away from me, so I never thought that it was an issue for me to walk from campus. I see this man car coming, then I see him bust a U-turn, and I'm just looking like, what you doing here? Like, why you coming? I was fine. So, like, you cursed me out and kind of gave me your ass to kiss. And then once I told you wasn't my boyfriend, you went off of me and left. Like, I didn't understand it, the gesture. So, I got in the car. He dropped me off. I didn't even say nothing to him, honestly. He dropped me off. And when he dropped me off, I just went that whole day, because we had a performance. I just went that whole day without talking, because and it was crazy, because I think my assistant band director was like, what's wrong with you? And he walked in the conversation like, oh yeah, that I'll take full responsibility of that. Boy, go somewhere. After that, we come back, and he came back with me to the house, and he apologized for his behavior. Like, he was just like, you know, I just don't want, in a sense, it was kind of on some, I don't feel like, again, like, I don't want to lose you to your ex. Please hold on to that, y'all. Please hold on to that. So the next day, which was the 28th of April, I cooked again. Steak. Yeah, I love cooking steak. I think it was a steak. It was a steak meal. That's all I could say it was. It was a steak meal. And he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I was so confused. Like, anytime somebody asked me to be their girlfriend, I just be lost, because it be catching me off guard. So he was just like, and everybody loved doing that Cassie Natalie Scott business. And I just be like, what is going on? So I was just like, yes. And, you know, I told him yes. And it was just weird, because it was like, damn, we've been kind of on each other this whole time. But, like, now, like, we're an actual official couple. So it was just, honestly, it was just like, the relationship lasted like a year and 2 months. And the reason I had to get those key pointers out is because, you feel me, now we about to transition into the, like, literally us going through our relationship. Because when we got in a relationship, I feel like everything just completely went whoosh. Like, that's what it did. It went whoosh. At some points we were our happiest. And remember I was saying my favorite ex, my favorite ex is from 2019. This was my favorite ex because he honestly, the chemistry that we had together was amazing and immaculate. But what was going on, you know, on the like inside of things, it was kind of like, it was just so crazy. And in a sense, it was kind of on both parties. I will take like the full responsibility of most of it because I've done like some very hurtful things, but he played a big role in some of those things as well. So we went through the summer. I had spent the summer in Georgia, close to his hometown. We kind of were able to see each other every single weekend. For his birthday, I did like a whole weekend for him. You know, I cooked, I took him out, I like took him to dinner. We just went to a whole bunch of different places. But, you know, when we came back, I just thought the vibes, like, I don't know, I just thought it was going to be different. I felt like our relationship was kind of more of, it was so, the bond was so strong because we took our time. We sent each other paragraphs every day, like while I was, you know, doing my internship and he was working. We loved on each other like real hard. Like I can honestly say like we loved on each other real hard. So when we got back, you know, here and we kind of started drifting, it was confusing me because it was just like, damn, why are we having all of these issues? And I felt like we'll talk about it, but then even when we talked about it, it was just like, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. Now, we're going to fast forward to December of like, you know, our relation, like when we first got into a relationship. So when December came, and I honestly too wish I had a different approach. And two, I understood, like, I asked more questions about this situation. And this is just me being real transparent. Because one thing I'm going to do is just be real transparent because of the simple fact that I don't mind being transparent. So I just wish I would have asked more questions because I did approach him on some, like, the fuck you got going on type stuff. Not knowing he basically couldn't have what I had, if that makes sense. Males couldn't have what, you know, but I automatically put the blame on him because of the simple fact, like, you the only person I've been with type stuff. So kind of in a sense accused him. So when his results kind of came back, you know, okay, he kind of turned the gear and shifted the gear towards me. So this happened when we got back to school. When we got back to school, and it was crazy because it was literally the day before my, like, one of my founder's days. And he basically, like, accused, and it was so crazy because he swore up and down he did not accuse me, but he had the worst attitude I can honestly say that I probably ever seen him have. He basically accused me of cheating on him, and even though, like, I came at him when I tried to ask my question, I still straight up and asked it. I didn't sit over here and wait until this or go have conversations with other people because that's exactly what he did. He had numerous conversations with people. And even after the relationship, like, I found out female-wise, like, he was having conversations with people about it and lied to my face and said that he didn't. So as we, like, trying to talk, he not getting straight to the point. Everybody know that irritate me. He's sitting over here sugarcoating, and then he accused me of cheating on him. So now I'm even irritated because I wasn't even gonna go out because I think we had a plan to be out at, like, we was gonna do something at like 12 that night. I ain't even planned that, but I ended up going because, like, I literally, like, was so irritated. And then when I came back, he was gone. Like, he left, whatever. So didn't really care. The next day, I went on campus. I probably wore shades the entire day because I think I was crying, like, the whole entire night because I was just like, wow, like, whatever. Again, I should have did more research on the situation at the time, but whatever. So we go through the day, and as he had the keys to my house, I had the spare key to his car. So as I'm just sad as heck, everybody in the cab enjoying each other, I'm just on the side, like, sad as hell. I take the car. And when I take the car, I went back to the house, but he wouldn't have known I took the car because, again, I had the spare key. I come back to the house, and everybody calling me, like, you know, Travis is looking for his car. Okay. All right. This man come back to the house and we going back and forth like tussling. So I push up on, like, I got in the car because he came to get the car. And I was about to run him over with his, like, literally run him over with his car. Like, yeah, I did not care because you done pissed me off and it's my Founders Day. Like, damn, mad. So he ended up getting his car. My friends came to check up on me. I guess he caught them. They came to check up on me, and I was just like, nah, y'all, like, I'm out of it. Like, I'm completely out of it. When he came back and he finally had a discussion with me, you know, I think I apologized for my behavior, and then I think he apologized for his behavior, or whatever the case may be. Boom, bam, boom, whatever. We're going to fast even more forward. COVID time came up. And when COVID time came up, it was kind of in a sense like, you know, it was, everything was shut down. So, well, shutting down. And schools didn't know what they were doing. It was just weird. So one of my Christmas gifts was a gift card, like an actual e-gift card online. And I think I was supposed to be hosting a pageant. So I wanted to order the dress that I found with my e-gift card because I think it was like $100. So I go in his email because we both had access to each other's stuff. We had access to each other's phone, passwords, everything. He could basically, you know, and that was my next thing too. If I was cheating, you would have been able to see it through my laptop because everything was connected, whatever. So when I went to his email, it kept saying like, you know, your Instagram password is trying to be recovered. Is this you? Is this you? So I'm communicating to him and he kind of like, I don't know who that would be. But in my head, you know, I'm thinking like Ariana basically seen our messages from logging in. Like I was like, you sure this is not your ex? I haven't talked to her since 2018 when the situation happened of him finding out what she had going on, which was a lie anyway because y'all talked on Facebook. Duh. Anyway, that was red flag number one. Red flag number one. After I send him the, like, we squashed that out, he had went out of town for like a weekend back home, and then he came back. Red flag number two, I think I pulled his phone or something, and he ended up literally like snatching it from me. Like snatching it. So I was just confused because I'm like, honey, I know the password and my fingerprint is on his phone. Like, what's the issue? So that was red flag number two. So we did red flag number one, red flag number two. What set it off was during the COVID time, we had this thing where we would work out with each other. We would do peaceful things. We would do yoga with each other. Like we were just doing things from where we started off for the year was trying to progress with ourselves. Like we were trying to do better. We go, like both of us went through like our albums, like our photo albums. Cause you know, during COVID time, it was real boring, but we go through our photo albums together. And we go through mine first. We're scrolling. We're looking at old pictures of me, like what I used to be like, even deleted albums. We were going through so many albums. And then for us, we had like this shared album, like on our phone or whatever. When we got to his, we just went through, I think, you know, his, we just went through his photos. So what used to piss me off about COVID time is, no, I wasn't able to sleep during the night. I will only be able to sleep like for a couple of hours and then I'll be up all day. So I'll literally be up till like 5 o'clock in the morning, a night owl, like it was nothing. When I ended up just going through his pictures, because I just wanted to go through his pictures, if I'm not mistaken, I went to his deleted albums. Because again, like I said, we went through every album for me, but we didn't go through every album for him. So I just went to his deleted albums. And I found half-naked pictures of Ariana on his phone. Mind you, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Like 3 o'clock. When me, personally, you know, it's one thing for me to cool down and get my thoughts together. And that's what I did. I did do that because I called like 3 people. One person picked up because she was about to go to work for an early morning shift by the grace of God. So I'm telling her what happened and she was like, what you gonna do? So I took pictures of like all the half naked pictures and I saved them I had them on my phone, because what you was not gonna do is try to gaslight me in front of my face. So I erased all my tracks, closed out the apps, I did everything. I just took pictures on my phone and just hid them and saved them somewhere. So I wake him up because I told my friend, I was like, bro, like, I gotta wake him up because I'm not about to be able to sleep. I'm literally gonna kick this man in his sleep. So I wake him up. You feel me? I need you to wake up. I need to talk to you about something. I got on a pair of sweatpants. I got on a t-shirt. Like, I got on just, yeah. I'm talking to him and I'm kind of like, you know, do you have something to tell me? I feel like with anybody, once somebody asks you that question, they already know something. Off rip, you should not try to hide anything. I'm sorry. You should not. I asked him again. I think I asked him in a total probably over 15 times if he had something to tell me, including after he went to the bathroom and came back. Because he kept on saying, no, I don't have nothing to tell you. What are you talking about? He looked at his phone, but I'm looking at him like this because I covered all my tracks. I put the phone right back on the charger. So it didn't look like I went through the phone, to be honest. So I'm just sitting there looking like, you know, do you have something to tell me? So he's still looking. He opened his phone and then he closed his phone. I don't know what he did in that spark of a time. So I said, you know what? Give me your phone. I opened the phone with my fingerprint and then I went to the picture and I said, I literally gave him the phone with this girl titties out. Like, here you go. Like, here you go. Mind you, if I'm not mistaken, sis was just with, you know, her mans. Like, they was out together. So I was just confused on what made her think to sit over here and send him pictures. But I'm just sitting here like, you know, this is what I'm addressing. So I had already made it very clear to him, like, if they were to, you know, come in each other's paths, I felt like if that's who you, like, if that was to happen again, that's who you should go after. Don't sit here and have me thinking, you know, like, you trying to do something with me when that's the person you really and truly want to be with. So when it happened, I think what made it was a lot of things that just made the situation worse. It was the fact that a specific baby pictures was on top of her pictures. It was the simple fact that it was the week of my birthday. It was the simple fact that I had just told him, like, I apologize for anything I've done in the past. I'm trying to start on a peaceful foot. Like, it was so many things that was just going wrong that I could not grasp everything once I addressed it. So I'm literally just like talking and I'm just like, was this really worth like you losing your relationship? And he trying